How you doing? I'm Arthur Benavides, and today I'll be talking to you about gun control. How will you protect your family when an intruder breaks in armed and you're not? This is a question that's rising to a lot of American families with all these controversial gun bans that are taking place. Today I'll be talking a little bit about the safety of a weapon and how not to fear it or be intimidated by it. Then we'll be going into a little bit of history of what past governments banning has done to the populace, and then we'll be going into some recreational events that can show gun safety in a more recreational fashion rather than making them into an evil subject. First of all, whenever you have your weapon, you should have it in a lockbox, away from the reach of your children. And there's several steps to ensuring that the weapon is safe so you're not intimidated by it. Your magazine should be away from your weapon. You should have multiple safeties on your weapon. It depends on what model you have. Some only come with one, some have none, and some just are full of safeties. This particular model of the 1911 has a beaver tail safety, which won't fire unless you're compressing it by gripping it. There's also a backslide safety that won't allow the weapon to function as long as it's engaged. There's also a method of cocking it back and simply just looking in the chamber. Now you always want to keep your muzzle of your weapon pointed away from anybody, and you always want to treat every weapon as if it is loaded for your own protection. So just these simple little things right here will ensure that you're going to be safe around the weapon. I'm not going to go into great detail about loading, unloading, anything like that, but I do want you to know that it's as simple as that, and there's nothing to really fear when concerning a weapon. Now, a lot of the government is trying to crack down on weapons and the banning of them and stiffening up the gun control laws. Throughout history, time and time again, history has showed us that not only is it a bad idea to unarm the honest civilians and empower the criminals, but it's just a bad idea. For example, right now in 2013, Chicago is strictly banned of weapons. There's no weapons. You can't go to a gun range. You can't buy any weapons. You can't own a weapon in Chicago city limits. Yet last year they had record amount of weapon seizures, more than New York City and Los Angeles combined. Weapons were found within Chicago, and this is a city where you can't even purchase a weapon. So criminals will find a way to get weapons into the city limits one way or another, and meanwhile all the innocent civilians trying to protect their home and their families can't have a weapon on them. Back in Germany between 1942 and 1946, 16 million Jews were murdered while they were unarmed. Prior to being murdered through those years, the government came down with strict gun laws and did a mass pile took all their weapons from them. And it's just you know, a lot of people are scared, intimidated by weapons. The media portrays weapons as being such a bad thing. They'll blow up the school shootings, the shootings down the street within the city, and they'll make them into whatever they want. There's also several people that are hypocrites to the fact. Every major event is being guarded with weapons. Every political figure is being defended with weapons. The invasion of wars that we are supporting are all done through weapons. And weapons aren't always a bad thing. There's lots of recreational uses for it. My father and I are both combat veterans, and a lot of our father-son time is spent at the gun range. My son will learn how to shoot, and maybe he'll be able to get into one of these colleges that is now supporting a shooting event and shooting team. So basically, guns aren't anything to be feared, and a lot of people are just intimidated by them. But I'm here to tell you that weapons aren't all bad, and I brought up a picture of myself armed in Iraq with a weapon that the government supplied me to go defend freedom. Thank you. My name is Arthur Benavides.